Revive essential oils, are they real or are they actually fake? If you've seen my 2020 video where I give a neutral review of Revive essential oils, you'll see that I've talked positively about the purity of Revive essential oils. However, I've been seeing some recent, well, it's not recent information, but recently seen information that I've seen with different purity test results being circulated around the internet, saying that Revive essential oils actually isn't truly pure and has synthetic markers in it. So today we're going to be doing a deep dive into this. So for those who don't know me, hi, my name is Jessie. I'm an aromatherapist by training, and I create no-nonsense educational content here on YouTube. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe. But today we'll be talking about those purity test results. A quick disclaimer I'm going to say before we get started. There's a few of them because it's going to be a very interesting topic, and they are: one, this is for informational purposes only. I'm sharing my knowledge to the best of my ability in an honest and transparent way. Second, I don't know why, but for some reason, essential oil brands can be a very sensitive and touchy topic for a lot of people. So I'm just going to say, if you're one of those people who are really sensitive about your essential oil brand, like if someone were to say that maybe your essential oil brand is not the most purest or best or whatever, I ask that you just click off this video. You don't watch this video. It's not worth the time, energy, emotions, or potential drama. This is just for informational purposes, not to say one brand is better than the other or anything like that. And lastly, you guys know my philosophy if you've been following me. I really believe that you should use what you love. If you have an essential oil brand or company that you use, that you love, I think that's awesome, and I'm truly happy for you. So know that I respect you no matter what brand you decide to use. This is not about brands. This is about information in this video. All right, so another thing I'm going to say is at the end, there'll be a question and answer period so that if anyone has any questions throughout this presentation, feel free to ask it in the comments. I won't see your comments during the presentation, but I will check it out after. Another thing I want to say is just what to expect in this video. I'm going to be going through a few things in this video. One, we're going to be looking at this website that does reviews of different products, and they have a section on the best essential oil brands. Secondly, I'll be talking about the lab that does the testing for this review site. Three, I'm going to be sharing with you doTerra's response about the findings about Revive's essential oils being, well, not truly pure. Four, what else I'll be sharing? Of course, we're going to be looking at the results together fairly quickly, not enough to get into detail, but those who know how to read a report can read the report. And I'm also going to make it big enough so you guys can see it on the screen, because I will be sharing the links in the description after I post the replay, but I know a lot of these links might disappear. Okay, just the nature of these videos, links disappear so I'm showing you on my screen. You have it. And I also ask that if you are going to be looking at the links after, that you don't click off my video, that you save the links for later and then use them after you leave YouTube, just because YouTube does punish me when people use my links directly for my video, which I don't mind if you do that for any affiliate links, but just for informational links, I ask that you wait till later. And then lastly, I'll be sharing with you at the end, what are my thoughts about this? Do I believe these results? What are my thoughts? Why or why not would I really jump in and share these results? Anyways, you'll see at the very end. So next up, I'm going to be sharing with you guys on my screen. So of course, we're going to go through the top part, the first part that I said I'd be talking about. And pardon me while I'm sharing my screen and figuring out how to do this. All right, so I hope you guys can still hear me. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was consumers advocate. So from my understanding, it's kind of a neutral place where they review different products, different companies, so that consumers can have decisions made easy. And they have a section called Best Essential Oil Brands based on in-depth review. So I'm going to go through it quickly. And they said we had an independent lab test the purity of 33 oil samples from well-known names in the essential oil industry to see what was really inside the bottle. As you can see, they put in over 600 hours of research, over 42 sources, about 11 companies vetted, and so on and so on. Just to give you some context to what is put into this review. If you guys have ever seen this, because I know I get a lot of these test results sent to me. If you've ever seen it, you can definitely click the link in the description once the replay is available and see the test results. But I'll kind of, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you what I tend to see in these test reports. So basically they have a handful of companies. I don't remember if it's like 10 or 6 or whatever. And then they get 3 different essential oils from each company and they test it. What I found in all the test reports from what I've seen is that basically almost every essential oil company has something negative come back, where it's like synthetic markers, not accused of being truly pure, all except for doTERRA essential oils. There might be some other essential oil brands, but I know doTERRA essential oils passes with flying colors on these tests. And just to give you some context of who does these test reports, it's actually Aromatic Plant Research Center. So again, they say they're a third party. Let's go back up there. So they say it's an independent lab that tests the purity of essential oils. You know, I could be kind of crazy here. I don't know why I've always thought this, but I always thought that doTERRA and the Aromatic Plant Research Center actually were together, and they weren't truly like that. That doTERRA funded the Aromatic Plant Center to get started, like with equipment, training, and money. But maybe I'm crazy, because if you actually go to the website, Aromatic Plant Research Center actually says that they're an independent lab, and doTERRA says that the Aromatic Plant Research Center is their third party, truly independent lab. But I did kind of a quick little Google search. I'm not going to share everything I found, but just enough to kind of maybe raise awareness of what I think might be happening or might not. At the end of the day, it's really you guys who decide what's going on and what you want to believe. So I did a quick research in this book. They have a quick acknowledgement section that says, this work was carried out as a part of the activities of the Aromatic Plant Research Center. Remember the testing lab that's independent for Consumer Reports. And they said the authors are grateful to doTERRA International for financial support of the APRC. Sorry, what does that mean? Financial support of the APRC. So does that mean that maybe I wasn't totally crazy in thinking that doTERRA funded the APRC? Anyways, I don't know what financial support means. Does that mean that they got them started? Does that mean that they paid for whatever activities the APRC did? But for me, as an aromatherapist, kind of seeing that an essential oil company is funding or financially supporting a truly independent lab, for me, it's a little bit, you know, think what you want, but for me, it's a little bit sketchy. Anyways, we're going to kind of go a little bit further here. I know on the Sources U website with doTERRA, they say the APRC they're in partnership with APRC. I don't know what that means. If anyone knows what that means, feel free to comment that in the comment section. I don't know if that means that doTERRA funds them, they fund doTERRA, because I think they're in the cannabis industry now, so it might be, I don't know, profitable, I'd imagine. I don't know. Maybe it means nothing. It might absolutely mean nothing. But I just want to show things that I've seen. Also with the APRC, just for you guys who don't know, it started in about 2016, 2017, the funding, like the founding of it. Next, we're going to say, what does doTERRA say about these test results that Revive actually, you know, has apparently not truly pure essential oils. So, I mean, I have a few letters. I'll link them, but like I said, links kind of might get destroyed after I post this video, but we'll see. I have one for the diamonds, diamond leaders. Those are the high, when you're higher up in the ranks and you kind of make them the big bucks. But I'm just going to read the Wellness Advocate one, just so you guys can kind of see. So it basically says, dear Wellness Advocate leaders, so those who are doing doTERRA as a business, we previously updated you regarding Revive's essential oils overstepping legal boundaries into unfair competition by falsely marketing that its oils have the same quality as doTERRA's essential oils, and implying that its oils are sourced from the same sources as doTERRA, from doTERRA sources. So I'm going to kind of look into this, share with you kind of what my initial thoughts are as an aromatherapist when I see this. So for those who don't know, actually, I'm just going to not say anything about that. Okay. So let's see what they say in their letter. So they say that basically Revive is falsely marketing that their oils, Revive's oils, have the same quality as doTERRA's essential oils. I'm going to take that up really quickly and just kind of say, quality is subjective. I know sometimes when we are in the aromatherapy essential oil world, sometimes people say, well, my oil is the most quality, but quality is really subjective. It's like me saying, my coffee is better quality than your coffee, but you might think the opposite. Like, quality is personal preference and subjective for the most part. Purity, generally isn't. So you can say, an essential oil is pure or it's not, but quality is really like subjective. Is quality orange juice with pulp? Is quality orange juice not with pulp? And I'm using other examples outside of oils just because I want to help kind of bring some context of what that statement actually means. And then the next one says, so they accuse Revive of implying that its oils are sourced from doTerra sources. So I'm going to say I don't really know where Revive sources their oils. I don't really know where doTerra sources their oils, and they'll have different sourcing all over the world depending on the plant. Naturally, that will happen because we do, we source from the place where it grows, and depending on what we're looking for in the oil, that's where we're going to source. Like, are we going to be sourcing? Anyways, like we're going to look at the altitude and source where, there's higher altitudes because we want certain, the chemical makeup of naturally occurring in the plants to happen. But anyways, I don't know where they're each source, but what I can say is that I think a lot of people would be surprised at how many companies actually sometimes source the plant materials from the same place or use the same distilleries as other companies. Like, this happens a lot more than we think, but I'm not saying that Revive sources from the same place as doTerra, but I'm just saying I think people would be surprised at how many companies source from the same places, even if you think that it's just one source for a company. Anyways, so I'm going to pause this. Well, I'll let you guys pause this on the replay to read it. Basically, I'm not going to read it all, but they're just saying that Revived essential oils are fake. And then attached, they have the purity reports, so the GCMS reports of bergamot essential oil from Revive, birch essential oil from Revive, and Deep Blue. I think Deep Blue is actually, or not Deep Blue, Deep Soothe. I think it's the Deep Blue of Revive because Revive has a lot of like comparative blends. So I'm going to scroll up here so you guys can read this for later because I don't want to read it all, but basically they're saying that, adulteration is becoming so sophisticated, Feel free to read it later, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it because you guys can read it in the replay. Let's go through the important stuff. Again, who did the testing? It's the Aromatic Plant Research Center. Remember, this is doTerra's quote-unquote independent third-party lab, which does the testing for consumer reports, which I think is intended to give neutral third-party reviews. It is, again, bergamot from Revive, done by their lead scientist. For those who want to see the chromatogram, sorry, I'm going through this quickly just because I want you guys to go to see quickly what I mean, but then of course you can pause and rewatch the replay. So here's the chromatogram, just kind of where everything peaks. I'm trying to do this slowly so you guys can see. And then for those who want to see the big peak reports with different, here we go. So I'm actually going to get this out here. So we're looking at the results. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to change it. 1, 2, 3. Again, the highlighted ones are the problematic findings in the oil. And then 1, 2, 3, if you guys want to pause later. So what's the comments? What's the verdict? Basically, APRC says this bergamot contains synthetic markers of little acetate. So they talk about that. So basically, bergamot, they're saying, is not 100% pure natural from Revive. Next, again, APRC, remember, doTerra's third-party lab, quote-unquote third-party lab, with their head scientist, Birch. Chromatogram really quickly for those who want to see. I'm trying to do this so that it's not boring for you guys who don't know. So it's basically peaks at like what time, which of the chemical constituents they can see, and then a zoom in close of their findings of the peak report, and then they highlight this chemical constituent as being a problematic finding. What are the comments? Conclusion, they say that this birch, Revive's birch oil, contains synthetic markers of methyl salicylate. So birch is not 100% pure natural birch. Okay, according to them. Again, APRC, another finding. You guys remember who it is because I've said it like 3 times. It's done by same head scientist, Revive Deep Soothe, the chromatogram for those who want to see. Again, there's links in the description. Hopefully it will still be there after this goes live. Peak report. I'm going to get nice and close. I'll keep it here. I'm going to scroll so that those who are watching the replay can pause. Again, I'll pause so that those watching the replay can pause. And these are the problematic findings. And then there again. So for those who want to see. Verdict. We're almost done. Almost done the test results for those who are watching with us. The analysis of Deep Soothe blend contains synthetic markers, linolyl acetate. And so yeah, they say it does not represent 100% pure and natural essential oil blend. Next, last report we're going to be looking at, this is lavender. So again, done by the APRC, Aromatic Plant Research Center, doTerra's quote unquote third-party lab that does the best essential oil brand with consumer reports, done by the head scientist there, Revive Lavender. Let's check it out. Sorry, it's getting a little blurry. I can either go really close or really far. This is the chromatogram. The peak report, we're going to get in a little bit closer. For those watching, you can pause. Okay, for those watching, you can pause and read the ingredients. I'm going to scroll again. For those watching, you can pause again. What's found as problematic is highlighted as like a chemical constituent that should not be there. And then let's take a really quick look. What their comments conclusion is, they say the analysis of this lavender oil contains synthetic marker. And this lavender is not 100% pure and natural. Next thing, I'm going to talk about, but what about the lavender? Because a lot of companies, I don't know if you guys have seen these test reports from here, but if you look here, I mean, if it's the same test reports I've actually seen in the past, a lot of companies have been tested and accused of being synthetic. Okay. So it's kind of, I don't know, just something to think about. Why are there so many essential oil companies being accused of being synthetic by APRC with consumer reports, doTerra's quote unquote third-party lab? I don't know, it's really interesting. But I want to bring you guys to this article. I'm going to leave a link below. As I was looking through things, I was like, man, like I'm not super huge on chemistry. I'll be honest, chemistry is not mine. I mean, I know the essential oil chemistry, but looking at a GCMS report, I can't say 100% know everything that's going on. So I was looking up different articles and I happened to stumble upon this blog post. So it's called The Importance of Ethics, Integrity, and Scientific Method in Essential Oil Analysis. This is done by an aromatherapist. Her name is Jennifer Wilson. And man, I was just like, she like found all this stuff before I did. So I was like, yes, she's saying all these stuff that I'm like, yes, I'm thinking some of the same things. A lot of this stuff she knew a lot more than I did because I can see that she's done a lot of in-depth research. So for those who want to read this, check out the link. Something I'm going to say though, guys, I don't know if you realize this, notice how she says company X. So I'm asking you guys to read the room. And if you're going to comment on her blog, please don't mention company names. Really respect the intent of the author and just, you know, company X, that's what it's called. The reason why I am personally mentioning the company doTerra, I'll tell you later, but it wouldn't make sense if I would never mention doTerra in my actual video. So basically, what APRC is accusing as being synthetic markers is highly debatable in the field of like among many professionals. So I have a highlighted section that could be interesting. So phytochemia, which is actually a well-respected and independent lab, like it actually is one in North America. They put out a Google document outlining the flaws in APRC's finding. So APRC, remember, it's the lab that did all the test reports saying that Revive's essential oils are fake and synthetic. Again, doTerra's quote unquote third-party lab. Are they? Are they not? You know, at the end of the day, you can look into it and do your own, come up with your own conclusion. But I'm not going to go through everything, but I just want you guys to really understand the dynamic of the relationship between, well, doTerra and the APRC. And the reason why I mentioned doTerra's name, which I hate bringing up names, this is kind of an uncomfortable video. I'm going to be completely honest by saying that. But if I don't, you guys won't really understand what I'm trying to raise awareness on. There's this kind of like doTerra is upset with Revive, and then their third-party lab, which, you know, there's kind of something going on, is testing Revive's essential oils as being fake, and other competitors, but the third-party labs apparently. So which brings me to my last section. I'm going to look at your comments. I see that there's comments, so I'm going to read them after I share with you. Are these results concerning for me? The results that say that Revive's essential oils are actually not pure and have synthetic markers. Why or why not? So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my answer through the lens of me being an aromatherapist, through the lens of me having experience as an aromatherapy, like an essential oil user of different companies. So I actually made a quick list, and I just want to make sure that I say it right. So basically, at the end of the day, you decide for yourself. I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to kind of raise awareness about what I think is going on here. So here's why it's not super concerning for me. One is because I feel like there's a kind of a questionable link between doTERRA and the APRC. Also, two, many reputable brands are being accused by the APRC of having not pure essential oils, having synthetic markers. Again, synthetic markers, some of them, or not all of them, I haven't looked into all of them, that have been debated in the industry among professionals. Next, I have a video down below I'm going to link. I'm going to ask that if you guys go to this video, please do not comment anything if you're going to be negative, rude, or anything like among that sorts. But in this video, there is the head scientist, which did all the results, like the lab testing, purity testing. And he actually says at a doTERRA event, he says doTERRA is the only one pure company that's selling pure oils. So this is the guy who's the head scientist of the third-party independent lab. It says doTERRA is the only one pure company that's selling pure oils. Then he talks about how doTERRA does all these great things, but other essential oil companies don't. And I just think, oh my gosh, like I could not imagine like Dr. Robert S. Pappas or another like reputable neutral chemist coming to an essential oil event for a company, which I don't think outside of MLM world that really happens. I don't know. And he'd say, you know, all the other companies, crap, they do bad things. Oh, this company is the only company that does good things. Like I could not imagine a reputable like chemist, scientist from a truly independent lab saying something like that. Again, come to your own conclusions. You really can. There's more. The next thing he does say in his video that, which I thought was kind of interesting. I'm not saying he's wrong, but it was just a bold statement to make. He said that he's the only person in the world with a PhD in essential oil adulteration. It's pretty bold. I mean, I've never heard of that before. But I want to go back to the last thing I just said. For those who believe that their essential oil company is the only company that sells pure essential oils, like the only company, because this is what the scientist is saying from the third-party lab, doTERRA's third-party lab. If you really believe that, like, do you believe that your essential oil company is the only company that invented pure essential oils? Like the hundreds of years before, pure essential oils did not truly exist until your company existed. I mean, it's just a question. Believe what you want, but it's just like a reflection question that I think really changed the game for me, because when I was coming out of the MLM world, I believed that there was just one or two good companies. And then I was like, wait, did my company invent pure oils? Because like, you know, just something to think about. Next thing is, yeah. Oh yeah, there's so many just strange links between doTERRA and the APRC. Again, I don't really have proof, and even if I did, I don't really want to talk about this or make accusations, but I just want to raise awareness. There's just too many things for me to take what the lab says seriously, because there's just too many weird things. Also, lastly, when this test report came out, what was it, in like 2019? This is about the same time that Dr. Robert S. Pappas, a truly independent source, essential oil chemist that specializes in the analysis of essential oils, he said really good things about the purity of Revive essential oil. So the fact that there's like a legit, well-known, truly known as like an independent like contractor and tester, like lab and chemist, says that yes, they have pure oils, and then you have one that has kind of like questionable ties and only works with one company. As far as, I mean, they say they work with other companies, but I've never seen it. You know, which one holds more weight? The one that we know is like, you know, world known, world renowned, like everyone knows them, or the one that's kind of like working with another company, but we don't know, apparently with other companies too. So I think I'm going to look at my comments really soon to see if there's any questions, but I just want to say something, just to be clear. I'm not saying doTERRA is a bad company. I have oils from doTERRA. I think they have a lot of lovely products. There's some products that even my husband's like, I love this, keep, you know, find ways to get more of it. It's nothing, it's not a company war. Also, some of you guys might be wondering, some of you guys may already know, what's my affiliations with Revive? In 2020, 2020, like when I originally posted the video, what I liked about Revive, what I didn't. That one, I was not an affiliate. It wasn't until about a year and a half later that I became an affiliate, meaning that pretty much in almost all my videos, there's links, codes to save money. So full transparency here. You know, I do have a code to save money. I do have links. I do have, I guess, financial, I don't want to say financial gain, but this is one of the reasons why I thought, you know, we should probably talk about this, just because I don't think it's fair that this lab is saying this about different companies and people are just blindly believing it. So I don't have any bad intent of sharing this, but I'm going to look at the comments, see if there's any questions. Hi. So yeah, hi, it's nice to see you. So again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. But again, I'll put all the labs, or all the links down below if anyone has any questions. It looks like we don't have any questions. So of course, if you are curious about essential oil companies, feel free to click here. And I will see you guys later. Bye.